Darrell Colbert Jr. is Shedeur Sanders' longtime quarterback coach. He was asked yesterday evening on the Rich Eisen show who his comp is for Shedeur Sanders.
Who is the comp in your mind, and how does he end up playing stylistically in the NFL?
Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is a great fit. I had one of the guys from Colorado actually brought that up last year when I was trying to kind of figure out who fit who Shedeur was, and I think that was a great fit. You know, just the way Joe Burrow is always confident, always calm. Like Shedeur is always this. He's one of the guys who's literally always that. He never gets too high, never gets too low. Joe does a great job of being accurate and understanding the system. And then what I think the comparison really works is, what was that? The year that Joe and them went to the Super Bowl. He was sacked a lot. I think he was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL and was still productive. That's who Shedeur was, last year, being sacked over 50-something times and still being productive, still at the top of all the quarterback statistics, and different things like that. So, how accurate Joe is, same thing with Shedeur. Very sneaky athletic, same thing with Shedeur. So I think that's a great fit for him.
It's an interesting comp. I understand some of it. I don't know that I see it completely, but I certainly understand what the quarterback coach for Shedeur Sanders is saying.
Okay. Let's get to this. If he was Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I get it. Joe Burrow is consensus number one. But what he's saying is Joe Burrow doesn't have the measurables that light things up. He really doesn't.
No. Joe Burrow is one of those dudes who, I think on the leadership style, on his accuracy, on his mentality, his approach to the game, I think he's correct. I think what he's getting at is Joe Burrow. No one's going to say Joe Burrow has the strongest arm in the game, but it's a good arm, right? No one's going to say that Joe Burrow is Lamar Jackson and is the most athletic guy in the game. No, he's a decent athlete and he learns to avoid sacks and stuff like that. So I get what he's saying, and I think the most important part of a quarterback is two or three things, right? You have to have accuracy, and Shedeur is very accurate. You take a look at his completion percentage. You look at the gimme throws he has to have. He makes those 10 out of 10 times. I think also what it looks, in terms of what's important is your mentality and approach to the game. You've been sacked a few times. Yeah, you might throw a couple interceptions, but we need you to go back out there, figure it out, and keep plugging away to get this thing done. So those are the things that he does. And then finally, it's the intangibles. It's the it never looks too big for him, never gets too low. He knows how to process the field. He knows what defenses are trying to do. He is a guy who his processor and his emotions are top notch. And that's what you want as a quarterback. You need those things in order to weather the storm. You're not going to always have a clean pocket. You're not going to always have receivers wide open. But the things you want to do is you want to make sure your team understands that you are the leader. Make sure that when they give you the ball back, they think that you can go down the field and get it done. And Joe Burrow, when it comes to those intangibles, I think everybody in the league would think about Joe Burrow knows, and he's the best in the world at having those intangibles, understanding where he needs to go with the football and being accurate. That's what sets him apart kind of from the Lamar Jackson, who has the elite playmaking ability with his legs, or the Josh Allen, who is the elite arm and is physical and huge and a huge guy. Joe Burrow is neither one of those, but he still has what we call the consummate quarterback and the deliverer of the football. So I think I take that away the most in terms of the comparison between Shedeur and Joe Burrow.